I just want to go over the guidelines here. It is 15 minutes. We are obviously keeping it, number one, trying to keep it fair to everybody. Number two, trying to make sure that the public gets a chance to hear the proposals, the benefits, and all of those kind of things. So a couple of things I want to tell you, and I'm going to have you introduce yourselves before we start, but as you go along, if you can, if there was a level of funding, if we were not unable to fill the entire amount, what amount might get you to a position where you're still able to accomplish something that you would think be significantly beneficial? Because obviously, again, I've got $100 million of requests for $13 million of expenditures. So there's going to be a few things that have to get. So I want to emphasize, I want to try to get as many things done as possible, but obviously if there are ways that I can do it with maybe not funding the entire thing and still get things done, if you can let me know that as well, that would be good. And Heriberto, I know you are the New England Farm Workers, I'll call you, I think you are the founder, but I'm not positive on that. But I've known you since you were a young man and I was a young man, so I'll let you introduce yourself to start with. And then
Sure. My name is Heriberto Flores, President of the Farm Worker Council. And then Andrew is going to...
And make sure the mics are on and pull them next to the green light would have to be on, and then make sure it's on, Andrew, okay?
Andrew Melendez from the Latino Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, try it again.
Andrew Melendez from
There
the
you
Latino
go.
Chamber of Commerce.
And Daniel Knapik, Executive Director, Partners for Community.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
The proposal that we're submitting is very simple, and I know that time is...
Yeah,
I know
make sure
time is important, so it's a building across the street there. We did this building over 20 years ago. We rehabbed that building. And Holyoke has so much potential in downtown. And sometimes, every time I come to Holyoke, I see it. The main concern that I have is that there's no people walking downtown across from City Hall. We need more people to walk down. We need more program business in downtown. You have a large Spanish, Puerto Rican population that's growing in the city. And that's what with Andrew, we brought Andrew back into activate the Chamber of Commerce. We're going to do a relationship between the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, Springfield, Holyoke, Hartford, and Westfield, right? So we're looking to enlarge the Chamber of Commerce, but the base will be over here in that building, historical building downtown. And we basically what we wanted to do was to bring the building back to life. We have some air conditions and some systems that we need to remove, because when we did it 20 years ago, the air conditions were, the Freon was, okay, I understand today that's hazardous waste, so we have to get rid of those buildings, all those air conditions. And the question is, like you say, is if at least we can something, then I can use that to match it up. I can go to the state or federal government or something else. It just said we want to activate that building and bring that building back to life. We want to put all the lights. And we need to bring more business. Mayor, I say we need to have more people to walk downtown business, to come in for services and everything else. I saw there's a little pharmacy next door, and you have different things that come up. We need services that will bring people to downtown to walk in the daytime and everything else. And then can talk more specific there.
Okay, thank you.
As part of the reuse of the building site, one of the partnerships that Mr. Flores spoke to is a group that there's a pamphlet in your packet. It's a multi-platformed media entity called Festiva Multimedia, and they provide all sorts of different programming, live act, TV, radio, and also like a virtual shopping network through different types of genres, and that would be their base operation here. So we envision an opportunity to bring live acts, studio programming, radio programming, and whatnot with this partnership.
Within that building?
Well, it's part of that. That is the hub of the activity, right? So,
Okay.
Obviously there's a number of sites along
Okay.
in Holyoke that we could do different types of live events, but it would also be used as a cultural type of center. And, when you look at the demographics of Holyoke, it's about, in the next census in 2020, it's going to demonstrate that probably more than 50% of the population is Latino, and the vast majority, 97% or more, is going to be Puerto Rican in descent. So when you look at like the great institutions in these downtown areas, you want to try to the extent possible, have a broad appeal. in Holyoke's appeal is very strong in the Hispanic community, and therefore having a facility like this that would become a marketplace, a cultural center, a business incubator, and that's what Andrew's going to talk about in that relationship. I think it serves as a great catalyst for the entire downtown area. And, I obviously, my background, and I always looked at downtown revitalization. You do this one building at a time, one street at a time, one block at a time. And in this particular instance, when you have such a large part of your population, and it's growing demographic, and it's been growing by over 20% per 10-year cycle, you want a facility like this to be able to be that draw that Mr. Flores just spoke about. You want the street to be alive with people. So we think that we've hit the right combination of partners in this, and I'll let Andrew speak to the business side of that.
Andrew?
Yeah, so I think one thing that we know is bringing people downtown is going to be crucial, not only for this location, for other businesses down the street. We have 3 new restaurants to our right of us and 10 great restaurants to the left of us. If we could create a hub that professional Latinos and to all of Holyokeers are able to come and have an environment that is safe and professional. We know when the Latino Chamber was at his brink, a few years back, we had hundreds of people go through those doors, getting trained in small business development classes, and then in turn, those businesses were able to open up in downtown Holyoke. So we were excited to have many of those success stories. In addition, we do know programs like E4All and organizations like Holyoke Chamber of Commerce need spaces to have networking events, to have trainings on their own. I think we've all been, or many of us have been through the doors at 225 High Street, and having a space like that downtown is not only important, but crucial, that it's professional and it has a space that can have, I remember we had a beautiful event for the community for New Year's, a place that people could come and really celebrate. So it's going to be important for 2 things: to bring people downtown, but also to create a professional entrepreneurial space that people can start, grow, and then leave, because that's the important thing. I think a lot of us, we want to kind of hold them in, but we want to really coach them up and coach them out, because we have 75 empty storefronts on High Street, right? So I think we've walked downtown and we've done the tours of downtown Holyoke. We want to fill these stores up, and we need to have the opportunity to coach them in and have a space that's professional, and then to be able to coach them out and have that pipeline. So I think within partnership of other organizations that are looking for training spaces that is at a high-tech caliber, we're excited to offer that.
And one of the things many years ago, we tried with Roy Scott, when we did Celebrate Holyoke, and people criticized us. They think that they told us that we were wasting money and everything else. But Celebrate Holyoke created something for Holyoke. And the thing that Bill Dwight used to say is, once you're in Holyoke and you drink a glass of Holyoke, it's like those fish that come back every year. So I'm back in Holyoke. I started in this city. I started my politics, my business, and I still hooked with Holyoke. So it's not that I just came here for a day. I've been here for many years. But with the group that we hooked up, they had the power to do everything else. How would you like to have like a festival here that bring Jennifer Lopez or one of those Ricky Martin or some of those guys in one shot? That would change the whole thing. I cannot do it alone, but with that group that we have hooked up, we can do it. They last time when we submitted the proposal, they could not be here because they went to a festival in Latin America, and they travel and everything else. So that's the objective, to create that energy there within the city. And I think that the historical of the city is incredible. People do not know the history of the city. I know a little bit, and you do too. But Holyoke is the city that gave me my base to start in Springfield, Providence, Washington, and everything else. And I started here in Holyoke, Massachusetts. People think it's Springfield, but it was Holyoke, Massachusetts. So anyhow, so we're here, and I'm not running away. So if you can give me something, at least I can use that to match it up. I can go to a foundation or something else, but I just needed to get the place going on.
If I might, Mr. Mayor, the most vital aspect of the request is for the air conditioning systems.
Yep.
So if you said, could you take a little bit off? Well, in that case, we can't operate the building without that. That's a $250,000 request. And that would be the one that would be, I would say, would be the most vital
Primary.
to reactivating it. And then secondly, I think that I would add that,
You said 250,000?
250,000, yes, sir. Is that, as part of coming here today and presenting to you, you asked who would the beneficiaries of your project be?
Yep.
And I think based on what Mr. Flores and Andrew and I have just discussed this afternoon, I see, and we all see as a team, the beneficiaries collectively as the citizens of Holyoke, and to the point of the citizens at large, and today everybody's so mobile, and to have an opportunity to have a state-of-the-art facility like this to attract that kind of multimedia event. We could even have a partnership potentially with HG&E for broadband, because you need, everything is around high-speed fiber. When I was in Westfield, we lit up for free fiber downtown, and that was wildly popular, and it could be the same kind of thing, and that's what brings the next generation into communities is that type of connectivity. So that's, collectively, you've said, who's that beneficiary? It's all the citizens and all the citizens of the region, and we're really excited about that opportunity, because this street is very historic. I remember great stories from my growing up with my parents right over the mountain in Westfield. This was the place people came, and to have that opportunity in the century that we're in now is just a tremendous opportunity, we feel, for this building and for the city of Holyoke.
Could I just ask, so, I'm just going to say this company that's coming, the entertainment company or media company, so would they be the primary tenant, or would it be a Latino Chamber of Commerce as the primary tenant?
The New England Farmers Council will be the base.
Okay.
And like we have done, we have hosted in many other buildings, different business to come in. We do relationship with people out in New Hampshire, Manchester, Providence. How many minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay, fine. So we do business in Providence, Rhode Island, Manchester, New Hampshire, Hartford, Connecticut, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and in all those towns we have relationship with the towns and different programs and people. We do employment and training program, educational. We have a program down another
Right
one
down the
here
street,
that we
right.
take a lot of people from warfare and training. That is one of the main emphasis that we do, getting people
Okay.
from warfare and a job training. A job will not kill you. Not working will kill you. That's, it's just basically
Yep.
that training education. So we're going to go back there. So if you can give me something, at least I know I can go to the governor and say, look, Holyoke, give me so much. Can you give me something? I can go to the foundation. But like I say, we need to repair that hazardous waste air condition.
Yep.
Because at some point, somebody from the city is going to cite me that I have hazardous waste in those places. I have to get rid of it. So again, that's why we have talked to these people, and right now, after the pandemic, I think now that people are looking at everything in different perspective. How do you do events that people can be in large group but also protected? That's the whole thing like that. So that's the whole
Okay.
thing. Air conditions have to be okay, heating system, ventilation, stuff like that. But that's a solid building. That building is part of this over here,
Yep.
downtown Holyoke.
And-
So I take pride, Andrew and I take pride that we have worked in. We did that with Mayor Sullivan, and then the governor, the guy. Matter of fact, there's one guy that I will go and asking for some money at the federal government. I will go to Mitt Romney. He was governor of Massachusetts when he gave me the money to some money on federal government to do the elevator and repair it. We spend a lot of money in that place, and then we use Holyoke workers, construction workers, to do the work too. So, thank you.
And for the chamber's presence, I think it's crucial that we do have a presence down in this building, because when individuals are coming to City Hall, you can have a nice, transition to say, go right across the street, and they'll be able to support you and walk you through the process. And then to be able to have the local chamber a few steps doors down, and then have E for All to the left of us and to the right of us. I think it's going to be crucial that having the chamber's presence is not only important, but perception is reality. And for someone to walk in to the Hispanic professional building, that is a way of ownership. That a city like Holyoke, to say we have a Hispanic professional building downtown, I feel very proud of that. I feel very proud of that. And to make this investment is not only an investment for the Hispanic community, but it's investment for all. I think, I'm a Holyoker, so I consider myself Irish, Polish, and Latino, but I think it's important that we all kind of embrace this, that this is, even on perception-wise, having a Hispanic professional building means so much.
And the other thing is very brief. In terms of
Just get a little closer to the mic.
the important thing
Thank you.
about the important thing about this, it's about Holyoke.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm not talking about Bridgeport, Springfield, Hartford, Washington, but Holyoke. There's something that, and Andrew and I had the discussion. Matter of fact, Andrew went away, so I recruited. Andrew's going to be part with us because sometimes you need to talk to people about what is it, and the spirit you have to understand it. So Andrew understands the Holyoke Springfield. He understands Springfield, but his heart is in Holyoke. he was in Boston. He went to the big league, but
Yep.
he came back to the big league in Holyoke. So with young kids like that, I need to develop, and I say this as a Puerto Rican man, I need to develop more leaders in the Puerto Rican community so they have investment in the city and take care of the city and love the city the way I love the city. So it's important to understand that it's not just for a project, it's for the future.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. And just so you know, my father once operated that elevator in that building.
Oh,
In his retirement, he came and he worked for someone that had, I think they were part of the building at that time, and he operated the elevators.
Yeah, that was a bank.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you. And
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
You
for your
cut him
time.
off? Oh, I didn't say that.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
muchas
Thank you.
gracias.
Tris, appreciate your interest.